Hey y'all, we're your hosts Mackenzie Gonzalez and Tenley Wright, back with another episode of Country Roots, a podcast for country music lovers by country music lovers. Here we will listen to and review the latest albums.
In this episode, we'll bring you our thoughts on the second half of Jason Aldean's album 9.
The first song for this episode is Came Here to Drink. Okay, so this song, definitely a lot slower than even some of the other ones we had. In the opening verse, I didn't show up to cover up anything, didn't walk through that door to forget about what's her name. No, I didn't have a bad day, it ain't what you think. I just came here to drink because it's 5 o'clock. I feel like he definitely did come up to this bar to do all of those things. He said he didn't, but he's just gonna deny that, and he's like, I just came here to drink. Because, like, forget about what's her name.
Yeah.
He's already kind of forgotten, but I'm sure he knows what her name is still. He's just going to act like he doesn't. I don't know.
I feel like he is kind of telling the truth, like, didn't come here to forget anything, didn't come here to, feel bad about a breakup or something. He didn't have a bad day, but in the second verse, he wants to sit here, listen to a jukebox. He just kind of wants to relax and just have a drink. I feel like that's kind of what it's about. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, yeah. It's a very slow song, like you said. I feel like this album in general is slowed down a little bit. We've had, 3 or 4 songs already that are pretty slow, so... Mm-hmm.
It's a nice even mix of kind of more fast-paced and slow.
His albums aren't necessarily that slow all the time. Like, you got a lot of fast-paced songs. The only one, like I said, I could think of was You Make It Easy.
Yeah. I'm generally not a fan of an album if it, has fast pace and then it only has, 1 or 2 slow-paced songs. Or if it's very slow-paced and then it has 1 or 2 fast-paced. If it's going to have both, it needs to be
a mixture,
an even mix.
And I think that's one thing we liked about John Party's album is, even though it was half the album was fast and half the album was slow, and it was completely divided into two different parts.
I liked that, but at the same time, I do wish
I wish he had mixed them together,
intertwined them.
But that was our previous episode. But I think this one is kind of like John Party's album. We even mentioned in the first episode how some of these songs seem very John Party-ish. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right, next up on the album is We Back.
We back in the speakers, back in black, getting blasted in the bleachers. It's probably true what my mama said. I do it just like my daddy did. We back in the saddle, back on stage, making the whole place rattle. Back with the A-team, train on the track. Thought we were gone, but you know now it's true. We back.
Okay, I really like this song. I think it was one of the singles. So I've been listening to it before the album came out, and it's on my playlist, and I just love it. The first verse, which I know you mentioned before we started recording, basically is really great. I love it, and I'll let you talk about that. But just basically, the lyrics in the chorus are really nice. Thought we were gone, but you're wrong, now it's on, we back. I think it's kind of talking about how he's back into making music, back on tour, all that. But I could be wrong, so I'm going to let you discuss this song because I know you have some stuff you want to say.
With you saying, the we back, we back in the speakers, it's definitely kind of he's got a chip on his shoulder that people have put there. And this is his way of, proving that, he made it.
Yeah.
They may not necessarily have made it. So he's somewhere, they're not. But, take that type of thing. I really do like the opening verse. Just, where's the guy in steel toes covered in dirt? Mm-hmm. Just a rock and roll t-shirt heading to work. he's kind of red man, but he's rocking, wears that beat up Teely and the Marshall stack. Like, literally, he's just talking about a good old boy who he goes to work every day and he just does the same thing over again. This is your classic hardworking man that this song is made for.
And he mentions little Marshall Tucker.
Because, little Marshall Tucker in a six-pack. So, we've got, it's probably true what my mom said. I do it just like my daddy did. Mama says daddy was a good, hardworking man, but he could get laid back and, basically get a little crazy with the boys on that weekend.
Okay. Well,
once it was closing time. That's what his daddy did. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I get that. All right.
All right, the next song on the album is Dirt We Were Raised On. So, we've already had so much Tenley's absolute favorite. Some name drops. Crank a little Hank on it. I won't lie. You can never go wrong with cranking a little Hank on it.
Reviewed has had Hank in it.
I think so too.
I feel like, yeah.
Well, Hank is just easier to rhyme things with too.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do something like that. So Hank is just kind of like the classic, but I'm okay with that. I generally like cranking a little Hank on it.
Why not?
When I'm hanging out with my friends. I don't know about you. Also, I do know my friends all listen to Hank, so
yeah.
Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. It depends. But overall I really like this song just because you're talking about where you grew up. Mm-hmm. That's the dirt and the soil that you were raised on. It's what made you you.
And he's basically talking about how it's in his blood. Just basically talking about all the time he spent on it. We drank on it, cranked Hank on it, like you said. It's on our boots, it's on our trucks. It was in that cloud of dust we stirred up. So it's really just a song about basically where he came from, an old town that they were raised on. So yeah. The one thing I wanted to mention was when they said they met at the gate when they tried to put an interstate on it. I like that a lot. Yeah. I don't really know. I don't have much to say.
It's a nice, simple song about where you grew up and the town that made you you. Mm-hmm. And how you don't necessarily want it to change.
And yeah, like how they said, we'll never be too far gone from the dirt we were raised on.
Like, I know with my dad, when it comes to Gretna, it's a completely different town than what he was raised in. And so he kind of sits there and he's just like, oh, wow. This isn't, for my dad, the town he was raised in isn't even the dirt he was raised on anymore.
Well, yeah, and I think that's true for a lot of different cities, because they're growing, there's people moving to them, and they have to make room for that, so. All right, next up on the album is I Don't Drink Anymore.
I need to change my ways. Boy, you got a choice to make. So I don't drink anymore. Yeah, tonight you can live. I don't drink anymore, and I don't drink any less. I don't drink anymore, and I don't drink any less.
Okay, at first when I, heard the title, I was like, I don't drink anymore. That don't sound like Jason.
No.
I call bull crap on that. But then, we got listening to the lyrics, and all of a sudden I heard, I don't drink anymore, but I don't drink any less. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's still drinking. He's just not drinking more than he used to. Not drinking less than he used to. And because of that, she left him. Because she said it was either him, or it was either her or his friends and the drinking. Because if you get rid of the friends, there goes the drinking. Get rid of the drinking, there goes the friends. He chose the friends. And, well, I'm sorry, but if a girl is making you choose between her or your friends, choose your friends. She ain't worth it.
Yeah. It says, she said, I need to change my ways. Boy, you got a choice to make, so I don't drink anymore ever since she left. She left because he was drinking, partying too much. His friends, she doesn't like him. So she said, you got a choice. I'm leaving if you don't choose me over them, which is a terrible choice to give someone.
Right.
Why would you?
Don't do that.
Terrible relationship thing. So he said, he starts out the chorus saying, so I don't drink anymore, and you think maybe he let his friends go for her, but then you get that ever since she left. So maybe this song's about a little bit more about him not drinking. It's about him not drinking more, but he's still drinking. So yeah, it's pretty simple. It's slow too. It's slow. Well, it's not slow, but it's slowed down. It's slower. Yeah.
But this works as a slow song. I don't
think it would work as a fast song.
I don't think it would.
No, it would not. So yeah.
The next song on the album is Cowboy Killer.
He's a cowboy killer in a shotgun seat, talking blonde wildfire, holding on to me. She got a knockout love and a dead back kiss, got the 30-30 smoke rolling off her lips. Lose my breath, knock me dead every time I am with her. Yeah, she's a cowboy killer.
Okay, so this is pretty easy to kind of pull apart. It's obviously about a girl that he sees or meets in a bar. She's got a way of lighting up the neon. I don't think there's a lot to this song. It's not really my favorite. I do like it, though. So, yeah.
I definitely dig the song. And like you said, yeah, she's not necessarily a girlfriend.
Yeah.
At least maybe not yet. Definitely just a girl. This is her first time meeting in the bar. By the way, she's turning heads.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not the first time she's been in this bar. I could see she's probably kind of a frequent, weekend. This is her spot that she likes to go to with her friends, maybe.
Yeah.
And so anytime she walks in, people notice that. Or maybe it is first time and people notice. Either way, every time she walks in, somebody's noticing.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, she's got a knockout love and a goodbye kiss. Talking blonde wildfire, holding on to me.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely just kind of one of those girls you meet at the bar, you pick up. Maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't, but if it doesn't go anywhere, you're not mad about it because you've had at least that for one night.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up on the album is One for the Road.
She's on tonight. Five stones turning, five-bird running right out of my life. For the last trombone and I play my tab, climb inside Daddy Yellow Cab to take me home. Give me one for the road. She's on.
Okay, I like the song. It's definitely very simple, but, he's sitting there at a bar thinking of every mistake he made in this relationship that caused her to leave.
Yeah.
So he's gonna drink one for the good times in the relationship. He's gonna drink one for the bad times in the relationship. That's two.
Well, okay, here's how I see that. He's drinking one for the good and one for the bye. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think he's necessarily drinking for the good times.
Oh, okay, got it. So he's just one for the good, one for the bye,
Yeah.
goodbye. So that's two.
Yeah.
For one word. One for the kicking myself all night. That's him beating himself up. One for her and all four wheels.
Are we talking one per wheel or
1, 2. Kicking myself.
add 5?
3.
Per 4 wheels.
So we had 8.
Yeah.
Now it's 1 for the way she's leaving, how her leaving feels. We're at 9.
Now here
1
it is.
before I go.
1 before I go. And then 1 for the road.
11 drinks.
Yeah.
For every step she's taken in this process of leaving. We're drinking for each step. So we're at 11 drinks. Obviously, this was not a good breakup.
No.
Not at all.
But I do like how it's like, it mentions different names of streets and roads, like 65 South, State Route 7, Broadway, Main Street, Country Road 11. Wherever she is, 4-lane, Forgetting About Me. So it's really just about drinking because she left.
Yeah, that's pretty much the song right there.
One drink for every step she takes out the door. He's having a hard time.
Alright, so the next up on the album is Talk About Georgia. Okay, so obviously the artist is from Georgia. Jason Aldean is a Georgia native, and he has connected Georgia to a girl in this song. In the chorus, when I talk about Georgia, it's the color in your eyes or the summertime shining on ya. You drove me wild, baby, and when it felt like nothing else, it's true, girl. I think about you when I talk about Georgia. So he definitely, personally, I want to say, like, this is, in a sense, about his wife in Georgia. Who knows? I don't know. All I can tell you for sure is it's a girl from back home that he used to love.
He's basically comparing, well, not comparing.
Or still does.
But he's basically saying Georgia and this girl
are home.
Yeah. And not that they're alike, but the summertime sun shining, the color in your eyes. He's taking these things from her and connecting them to Georgia, and vice versa. So it's kind of basically just about a girl. I think it's a good, pretty good song. I like it. Yeah. All right. Next up on the album is The Same Way. Okay, so one thing I really wanted to mention about this was the opening few lines of the song. It doesn't matter if you grew up above the Mason-Dixon, which is obviously that line that separates, like, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and then Maryland, which is underneath the Mason-Dixon.
Or, as most people...
The East Coast.
As most people also think of it, it separates the North from the South.
Well, yeah, kind of, basically.
That's how most people see it.
Yeah, so, but it's right there along Pennsylvania and all that. So, and then it's like if you're from, or if you're from down in Dixie, which we all know, Dixieland. If you come from the east side or the west side of the Mississippi, basically no matter where you're from, little farm towns, high-rise cities, raise them up with me, your country. If you've got the same songs coming out your speakers, so no matter where you're from, we're all country in our own way. So I think that was really good. It's basically, there's a really long chorus in this one.
It's definitely a long chorus.
Unlike some of the other ones we've seen. So, it's basically just listing all the different things. If you got smoke blowing out there, howling at the moon. If you do, that's what's up. If you got your pretty green-eyed dime. Just basically naming all these other things. So, yeah.
I dig this song because, like, I know personally I've had a lot of people who are like, you live in Omaha. Yeah, you live in the city. You're not country. You don't have to live necessarily out in the country to be country. You don't
have to be from Texas and Georgia and Alabama and all that.
You can
to be country.
I was a kid. I was raised. This is how I was raised. I was raised country.
Yeah.
I've had some people who are like, you know, you're kind of just like a plant in a sense where you're like a little transplanted kiddo where you grew up in the city, but you were raised as if you lived in the country.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been like, I could take you out of this city and put you in the country and you'd be just fine. In fact, you'd be perfectly happy. So I like this song for the simple fact that it doesn't say you have to grow up out in the country to be country. He flat out says, anywhere from the country to those high-rise
cities,
you're going, if that's how you are, that's who you are.
I feel like there's a lot of people who do think that, well, you're from the city, how can you be country in a sense? But it's not, you don't have to live on a farm to be country. It's just who you are. It's your personality.
If you are hardworking and honest, that's the main thing that makes somebody country. It's not in your wardrobe. It's how you are.
And I think one of these lines kind of just like, we might be from a different place, but we go down the same way. So, yeah.
All right, so the last song for this episode and this album is She Likes It. Alrighty, so this is a very simple song again. This girl that he's with is not a fan of those big downtown lights, giant crowds, anything like that. She is perfectly content with just driving around town all night long, riding shotgun with, who she's with, and just kind of doing their thing alone. She doesn't need to be with a big group. She is perfectly happy being just alone with whoever it is.
Basically, it's saying she's not a city girl. She likes long rides on a dirt road, like you said.
She likes the simple things.
Town. Yeah, the simple things. It's really just about a girl and how she's basically a country girl, not really into the big city, and yeah.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Country Roots. Be sure to tune in to our next episode where we'll bring you a special holiday episode with Brett Eldredge's Christmas album, Glow. We'll catch y'all next time.